All right, it's that time again. Now, I'm not as old as what you'd like me to be. But I hang out with the people that are much older than myself because I just love their stories and I love everything they're about and I love to learn from them. I do remember some of the cheesy commercials on TV. Do you guys remember the cheesy commercials with car ads? But it's not about really so much the car ads. Do you remember when a new car came out, how big a deal it was? Oh my God, I watched things back in the 50s. I mean, it was such a huge thing. Like, to bring that car out and unveil it was a big thing back then. Nowadays they bring out a new car every year and they just all look the same. Nothing looks any different. I'm sorry to the big three out there that they call themselves, General Motors and Dodge and Ford. And yes, we got to support Americans. Yes, we do. We don't want any of that Taiwanese and Hong Kong stuff and all that kind of stuff out there. I get that. It's all you know, CK Deluxe and old school rods and all that. They're always like, support the Americans and Americana and all that. And I agree 100%. But I'm saying to you that there's no distinction between these cars whatsoever. They all look the same. It's so weird because if you're, obviously you guys are into old cars, classic cars, whatever you're into, muscle cars, and if you're anything like myself, when we're driving down the road at nighttime and we see a set of headlights coming at us, we can tell that it's whether it's a new car or an old car. Where nowadays, when, you know what I mean, like when you see new cars coming at you, they just all look the fucking same. Everything looks the same. They look the same. You could have a white Toyota, a white Honda, a white Chevrolet, a white Dodge car, and they could all come down the road at once, and I tell you, you wouldn't tell what was what. There's no character anymore. There's no, I don't know what they're going for today. They're just going for cheap, nasty, keep it cheap on gas, lightweight. I don't know what you even call it. And I just remember these old ads. You know, it was such a big deal. And when somebody rolled up in the driveway with a new car, it was a huge thing back then. Even when I was growing up, if we rolled in the driveway of a car in the 70s, that was a big deal. It was big, man. I mean, I don't know. I can't explain it to you. I'm trying to get the feeling out, but you guys that are watching this video must know what I'm talking about. It's just a feeling like, when you picked a car then, you picked a car because of how it looked and how it drove and the style of it and everything. And when you pick a car today, it doesn't matter. Like I say, they all look the same. And people don't get that, I don't think, too much today. But people don't think of cars today like we did back then. Cars back then, when you bought a car back then, that was it. You either paid for it or you made your payments, whatever it was, you bought that car and it was going to be with you for a long time. People buy cars today. A lot of people either buy them and they trade them in before the warranty's up, which is, I believe, 5 years, or they lease them. And they just, no, I'm not going to keep them more than 5 years because the warranty's up. I know the fucking thing's going to go for shit after that. So they get rid of them. A vehicle doesn't mean as much to people today as it did back then to us. We'd be out there Simonizing it. Remember that word? Simonizing it. Be out there every month Simonizing the car while the wife was in the house baking cookies and the children were on the grass playing with toys, Tonka toys and Dinky toys, or riding their bicycles around. And Dad was out there just cleaning that car up and the neighbor would come over. Hey, Chuck, what do you got going on there? What's it got under the hood? Let's take a look. It's not like that anymore. You pop the hood of a new car today and it's just all plastic. It's all plastic. But look at the power they're getting out of these new cars nowadays. Look at it. It's embarrassing to say that, you know, we can do up a small block Chevy or Ford or whatever you want, and we're all proud to get 300 horse and some fucking rice rocket comes by that's got maybe a little turbo or a chip added to the computer and the thing's got the same power as we do. But you know what? He can have the same power as we do. He can even beat us in a race, but there ain't nothing ever like a fire-breathing V8 under the fucking hood. So you keep your little rice-burning rocket. It ain't the same, man. There's nothing like the same with that big rather than that that whine, you know? It just, oh, they had singers back then. They had all the singers that would come out, and they put the cars on turntables, and it was a big display. When you went to a car lot, some of you young guys that are out there watching me, and I appreciate any of you young guys that are out there watching me, because you guys are the guys that are interested in this era, and you're trying to get into it. And thank God for you guys out there, because we need some of you out there, because less and less every day want to join us. When you went to a car lot way back in the days, ask your parents or maybe your grandparents, depends how old you are. sometimes they would even let you take a car home. They would know you. If you're from a small town, they'd say, hey, take that car home for the weekend and drive it around. Bring it back on Monday and tell me what you think of it. It's not like that anymore. No way, man. They don't want you doing that. Yeah, they want your driver's license. They want everything they know about you. But that's because we're so big out there now and so populated that it's just, you know, it's just the way it is, I guess. But the colors, the chrome, the upholstery. Everybody nowadays is starting to do all, I mean, I shouldn't say it's nowadays. When I was building cars when I was younger, it was all tuck and roll, diamond tough, all that kind of, you know, buttons and pleats and all that kind of stuff. Now I'm kind of going back the old school ways where I'm doing my cars custom outside, but I'm putting them all the beautiful stock interior inside because they were so gorgeous. Fuck, they were better than a sofa. And that big old chrome dash wrapped right around you. You didn't need airbags back then because you had 500 pounds of steel sitting in front of you. So if you hit something, you weren't going through the windshield. Maybe once in a blue moon, yes, it did happen. But you know what I'm saying. All these cars nowadays, they say you got airbags in the doors, we got airbags in the steering wheel, we got airbags over here. They're only putting all them airbags in there, don't be fooled, because what you're riding in is a fucking pop can. It's a piece of shit. Yes. You know they brought out these new aluminum body vehicles. You know if that thing gets a little chip in it, here's a tip for, if it gets a little chip in it, gets a little crack in it, and you don't like that guy, do you know you can actually go up to it and grab it and start rolling it back and just peel that thing right off of there. It'll peel right off. That's how cheap and fucking shitty they are. You try doing that with an old car. What about the big old wraparound windows? Yeah, oh God. And cars had antennas in those days. They had antennas on the fenders where you pulled into the Union 76 gas station and you used to fill up and they'd give you a little round styrofoam ball that said Union 76 to show you were buying their gas and supporting them. You know, I mean, you had these gorgeous big old hubcaps. Remember we were talking about this earlier or a while back. Everyone nowadays, every car with chrome wheels used to be a thing, but nowadays every car comes with chrome wheels. Back then you had hubcaps. Beautiful hubcaps too. And then when you bought a set of chrome wheels to put on that car, it meant something. It looked cool. Oh, I could go on forever, you guys. On all these videos I'm doing, Remember When, I could sit here for a half hour or more and tell you all the stories, but then it would just get boring. The whole idea of this whole subject is just to recreate a spark and a flame inside of you guys and to say, remember when. Don't ever forget. Pass it on to someone. Pass it on to the young kid. I don't know. No, young kids don't deliver newspapers anymore, do they? Oh, God. Is there any hope? I don't know anymore. Just pass it on, folks. Just sit back. Go on YouTube right now and punch up old car dealerships and old car ads and that. You'll be surprised. Go down to Tacoma, Washington. Tacoma, Washington has a Buick dealership down there that is still around and you can go inside and look at it. They got 2 turntables upstairs. They got this spiral staircase going downstairs. They got all these offices up above. The place is, I swear to God, look it up. Tacoma, Washington. The guy owns it right now. People are just storing stuff in there. You got to go down there. Anyone out there in Tacoma know where I'm talking about? This fucking place is like stepping back in time. Every time I go in there, I get shivers up my spine. It's unbelievable. Remember, guys, it's always a good time at old time. Don't ever forget when. Remember it all. Pass it on. And if you don't have anyone to pass it on with, it doesn't matter. Just sit down and remember when. Look at all them old car ads and how cool they were then. Okay, guys, we'll see you next time.